The Nassau County assessment project done by Laura Curran has been riddled with errors, missteps, and gaffes the entire way. Well, now it's even worse because they are making it almost impossible for residents to get information, frankly, they're entitled to by putting up barriers and fences. I met Dennis recently at one of my tax forums. I regularly hold tax forums throughout the town of Hempstead showing residents how to challenge their assessment themselves and save themselves money. And at these, this year in particular, we have seen an uptick in residents who are showing up with questions about the reassessment process. And while I don't have every answer for the reassessment process, we try and help the residents because that's what our job is to do. County administration loves to tell people this is a very open and transparent process. It's far from it. This is being basically kept secret from the residents. Information they want to use in making determinations on the value they received, as well as information on making determine if they need to challenge their assessment. To put up barrier after barrier is wrong. That is not what this process needs. This process needs proper responses and, frankly, bending over backwards for the taxpayers.
We all know that the county has been advertising, all you need to do is get on the computer, make an appointment, come on in, and we answer all your questions. I did that 3 times. All 3 times I asked the employee that I was sat down with some basic questions. Invariably he said, I don't know the answer to that. It's all in the computer, or I just don't know. I haven't been trained on that. Each time I asked to speak to the supervisor, and I met with those supervisors. They didn't know the answers either. I filed a freedom of information request, and the initial denial I got said, we don't have to give you this information because it does not affect the public at large. So when I appealed that, they came up with this, oh, forget about that excuse. It's really a trade secret. So these guys have publicly exposed the fact that they really don't know what they're doing. And that's why we need to get the county to tell us, what's the formula? How did you do this? And that would go a long way to maybe if we saw it, we would see that it made some sense. I don't think we would, but I think it should lead to some corrections. And that's what they should have done in the first place.
It's time for the county to admit they're stonewalling. It's time for the county to answer the questions, come clean, and get residents, as I say, to become stakeholders in this process. That's what the county needs to do by having real community meetings, not hiding behind letters denying residents. You'll be able to change the residents and get them on board if they understand what you've done and you've done it correctly. And until now, all we know is we've seen lots of errors, all self-inflicted, and lots of obstacles. So we don't even know deep down if this entire system has been done correctly.